Welcome to this call today. We have on call Karla, who is the founder of QLIP. Welcome, Karla. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here, David. Thank you so much.
Yes, most welcome. So maybe you can just take us through QLIP, just give us an idea on what we are looking at.
All right. First, I'd like to say that the name of the brand, it's QLIP. Okay, so even though a lot of us usually make that mistake, it's pronounced QLIP. The idea is like the Q is supposed to be a K. Okay, so later on we'll talk about the inspiration behind the brand, behind the name. All right, so this is our website. The first thing you see is revolutionizing the NFT ecosystem. Now, how are we doing this? How are we revolutionizing the NFT ecosystem? We're doing that by providing value, by providing utility. All right, so utility for NFTs. Okay, so QLIP is a platform where African artists can tokenize their art and tokenize themselves while providing utility to this art. So I'll give an example, okay, with music artists. I am a music artist, okay, so my stage name is Karla God. Right, so I've been in music industry career basically, but I've always, writing songs and TV. Okay, so one of the inspirations for starting QLIP was because one was I wasn't seeing platforms that really served the African continent, NFT platforms that served the African continent. I wasn't seeing much of that, and also I wanted to give artists opportunities to tokenize themselves and tokenize their arts. Now, let me ask you, David, are there any music artists that you really, really like, African music artists that you're a fan of?
Yes, I have so many that I love, especially Nigerian.
Could you give me one at the top of your list? Could you give me one at the top of your list?
I love Davido's.
Olamide.
Davido.
Okay, Davido. Yeah. All right, cool. Okay, cool. So Davido, I think Davido started his career in, let's say, maybe 2010. Probably, let's just say probably 2010, right? Now, imagine as at that time, the blockchain space was already evolving and NFTs were everywhere. And Davido tokenized himself as an artist and probably also tokenized his art, right? And, have them for fans to buy. So these fans love Davido. They're buying his art, right? This was 2010. Now, this is 2021, okay? What do you think the value of the NFT of Davido would be now in respect to his career? Let's say if his NFT was maybe he sold them at $10, like that was the drop, was at $10 as at 2010 when he just started his career. Right now, being big and having all the awards and international acclaims, what do you think the value of that same NFT would be?
Comparing with what I've seen with other artists from US, I think the value increases over time as you prove your worth in the market. So definitely it would be way higher than what it was.
Exactly. So it could even be 10 times, right? So this is just an aspect for fans to earn like extra just by being a fan of an artist and buying their tokens and supporting them, right? And just holding them and saying, oh yeah, I have Davido's, because you are a Davido fan, you have his NFT. As his career expands, as he increases, the value of that NFT also increases, right? That's one aspect. Then the second aspect is utility, right? What if, owning these Davido's NFT gives you access to his concerts, probably VIP access to one of his concerts, okay, maybe VIP access to his listening party, or because you're a holder of his NFT, when his album drops, like you guys are probably the first to know about it, right? Because the information is passed through the blockchain and we already have these kinks worked out, right? This is just an aspect for utility, for tokenizing art, for tokenizing the art of various artists. And it brings a new dimension to fan loyalty, right? Now, this is something that can also happen in various aspects of the arts and entertainment industry in Africa, right? We're talking movies, we're talking fashion, we're talking visual arts, we're talking literature, right? The likes of Chimamanda Adichie, let's say she has an NFT of a certain book she'll be releasing soon, and people who buy those NFTs, who like hold them just because they are fans of Chimamanda, have access to those to that book before some other persons do, right? And they can claim the merchandise that come, with that book. So these are just examples, right? These are just, yes, examples of utility. There's a lot more to this than what I'm explaining now. The good thing is we figured out a way to include utility in NFTs. So I'll just take us through the gaming feature. Yeah, we have QLIP collectible gaming features such that the collectibles we have, people can stake them to mine QLIP tokens with. People will be able to stake these collectibles, right, to mine QLIP tokens. So that's one of the gaming features. There are lots more features. Here you see that we have packs completion for NFTs. People could lock up NFTs to reduce the fees that they spend in minting and QLIP tokens also. People could use QLIP NFTs in metaverses, right? All these are included in our roadmap. I'm pretty excited about this rap battle games with Rapstar NFTs because I'm a rapper, I'm a hip hop artist. So I'm really excited to show you guys what we can do with this aspect. All right. So moving on to the QLIP marketplace. Okay, so we have three main features. The first ones are the off-chain NFTs. Okay, now this is for independent artists. Okay, people who are not mainstream artists. Independent artists can have these NFTs and just store them, right? So off-chain as far, it's not yet listed in the marketplace. It's stored on the blockchain. And also because people who have access to these NFTs have access to having the NFTs as that's having access to what these NFTs represent. Okay, so that's one for off-chain NFTs. And then we have ordering NFTs such that I'm looking at photographers who have exhibitions, who take pictures, who sell their art in frames and stuff, right? So order in NFTs. A photographer can actually have their NFT photography on QLIP, and people who buy those NFTs can have the main work delivered to them. That's the real life work or the real life portrait delivered to them anywhere they are in the world. We can help sort out this process. Two or more artists can come together to collaborate to create an NFT. A photographer can decide to collaborate with a music person to create an NFT. Okay, a photographer can decide also to collaborate with a model to create an NFT. Okay, and it's all done on the blockchain, right? Such that when these NFTs are sold, the royalties are split, right, automatically to the creators. That's it basically for QLIP. Now you can go to our website and look at our roadmap, our tokens. I'd like to take us through the Figma design.
All right. And Karla, even before you go there, maybe you can let us know, as you take us there, give us an overview of how you see the NFT ecosystem in Africa right now. I mean, I know you mentioned about artists and all that. How do you see it across the continent as well? How big do you see this being in the next few years?
So I think if I could take you to a tweet I mentioned, yes, where I said NFTs are basically tokenizing data like music or audio, yes, that's audio, picture, video, or probably even text, right? It could be lines of codings. Okay. Now, if this data can be tokenized, they can represent something. They basically represent something in real life. Okay. This opens a new stream of income for creators, for people who create and people who love works of art and about art. We're seeing properties coming into this, people being able to buy estates, landed properties by owning an NFT. Okay, so it's basically being able to represent real life assets on the blockchain. This is vast. it cuts across the industry. It can happen in the art industry. It goes also to the property industry. It goes also to anything can be tokenized, whether it is an asset or it is an experience, right? And in experience here, I'm talking about attending concerts of artists or owning something with that has to do with their art. Okay, we're seeing NFTs in artificial intelligence coming out, such that I'm not sure if any of us have done research on that. But the last time I checked, I did some research and I saw that CoinGecko actually posted something about artificial intelligence being tokenized on the blockchain, right? So at this point, anything can be tokenized, and NFTs give the opportunity for anybody from any part of the world to own these tokenized assets on the blockchain. And owning the tokenized asset on the blockchain directly translates to the real life value of that asset that was tokenized. This is huge for Africa, right? Because what I'm saying is right now we're just starting. This is like the ICO era in 2017 when Ethereum was created and a lot of projects are coming in. There were this boom, this ICO booms, and a lot of companies, came out from that ICO booms, and they still stand to today, right? We're seeing the same thing happen in the NFT industry, and Africa taking advantage of this early enough before some other continents. Okay, because for example, I've done some research and I really haven't seen the Asian, the Asian continent try to take advantage of this. But it's really cool and really productive that Africans are actually doing this, taking advantage of the NFT industry and tokenizing real life assets.
Thanks for that breakdown, Karla. I think it's good we understand that NFTs go just beyond art. We are used to
Art,
seeing
exactly, yes.
art collectibles. It's like you say, the NFTs hold value. So whatever has value can actually be tokenized. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for that breakdown. So Karla, so I see Figma has loaded. What are we looking at now?
All right, so we're looking at how this is our mint store, first of all, right? So let's say I want to mint from my mobile device. I click on create single. You could create multiple or single. So, but for the sake of the design, we have the create single aspect, and then try to zoom in. Okay, I think Figma, I can't really zoom in at the moment, but if you, I think if you look through, you'd find that here you can put the name of the item, that is the name of the NFT you're trying to mint. You can put the name there, you can give the description, and you can set the price. Okay, now the price can be in CLIP tokens, it can be in BNB, it can be you can actually write the estimated USDT price. So you could write $200, $500, $1,000, $10,000, and then decide to receive the payment in CLIP tokens or in BNB or in USDT, because we want to make it as easy as possible for anybody to buy CLIP tokens with whatever currency they have that's on the Binance Smart Chain, like the popular ones. So you can actually buy NFTs of artists with CLIP or with BNB or with USDT or so. So we made it such that the value of the NFT is in the estimated price. Okay, so that the price stays because of market volatility. So the price stays at a certain amount of dollar. Then whatever the user wants to pay with, if they want to pay with BNB or USDT or BUSD, it's done in the smart contract such that whatever amount of BNB you'll be paying would be equivalent to the estimated USDT price. Did you understand that aspect?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I think
so you can decide to.
Yes. So I think it's clear there. So for QLIP, I understand that you can buy using different currencies, unlike what we've seen on Ethereum, where you can only buy with Ethereum. So here you have a variety of cryptocurrencies you can buy, or you can, sort of create the NFTs and sell them via various currencies. Just also to understand what we are looking at. So is this how you mint an NFT, or what is it?
Yes, this is basically how you mint an NFT. You upload the file. So say I click browse files, right? It takes you to your mobile device where that NFT is stored, or where the if you're using your PC, it takes you to the folder area where you can find out. You can click on the NFT that you want to mint. Okay, so they are basically tokenized art. The tokenization is done on the blockchain, but they are art. So the art already exists on your mobile device or on your PC. Okay, so when you click here, browse files, you see that you can upload PNG files, GIF, JPEGs, MP4, MP3, and the rest of them. So when you click here, it appears in this area. Annotation, right? This is where you click to. When you do that, it appears here. So let's start probably exist on your PC, or just click on browse files, right? And that's how you get to choose what the file is. Now you can upload MP4, MP3, PNG, GIF, right, JPEG files, right? And when you do, this is where it gets previewed. You see them here, right? Then you can go ahead to name your files. You can come to description to give whatever description you want to, probably the quality of the NFTs, the features, and probably if it unlocks, if probably people who hold the NFTs or buy it can have the option of having it delivered to them. All right, then you can have here you can set the estimated price. Okay, now we're doing this so that we're giving you artists the ability to set estimated price. The way the contract works, what you pay, I can buy NFTs on QLIP marketplace using QLIP tokens, using BNB, using USDT, and as we grow through cross-chain platforms, they could use, Ethereum and other stuff. They can use USDT. They can use stablecoin. So let's say if this art gets resold, the artist retains 10% because they are the creators. Okay, then you can decide to put it on. That's one thing. Then we have the instant sale price, and then we have the unlock once purchase. So if this artist wants the user or the buyer to have access to something, this is where they put it. So unlock something, maybe unlock a link or unlock a ticket or something once the art is purchased. So after everything is done, you just click on create item. You can click on create item and your item gets created. Let me take us to the marketplace. All right, so this is the marketplace. Like when you click on create, it takes you to where you can create and then explore. Now, when you click on create item, this is a feature that we're adding. People would be able to add sound effects to their NFTs, right? I particularly don't like NFTs that don't have sound effects. For example, we see some visual NFTs that are in motion, and there's no sound to it. It's just there. It's quite boring, to say the least. So maybe because I'm a music person, but I really don't like it. So I want to give users the opportunity to choose a sound, right, that they want. And the people who would have their sound on QLIP are giving us exclusive rights to do that. Okay, we already have producers who are partners with QLIP who have given us permission to have their sound on QLIP. So let's say this is your NFT. Let's say this is your NFT. You can decide to add either of this sound to it so that the users, when they preview, they can have something to augment, right, the art. And music does a lot for us. We all know that. So that's one aspect. So let's say we add the sound. It tells us to connect our wallets. So we can, even though already using it, you're connected to your wallet. So you can click on connect wallet and then you upload the files and then you meet. This is where it appears. This is your profile. Okay, now we're going to have artists have verified accounts. That means some accounts will not be verified. Most accounts will be verified. Now, there's a process that would have, that's why we have a curator on our platform who's going to go through people who are artists who are asking to get verified on our platform. Okay, so the curators would go through and look at the art, see what they do, and decide see if they have utility also, because that's one of the criteria for verifying, for having an account verified. Your art has to have utility attached to it. All right. So once your art is created, it's It's listed here. Okay. And then you can see it on the marketplace. And yeah, this is one feature we have. People can follow the artist that they like. People can decide to follow the artist that they like. All right. So when you come to the marketplace, this is the marketplace. Once your art is listed, you can come and find it here. And we have various categories. In the mint function, you can choose the category that your art falls on. And when you do that, it appears here. So we have memes. People could actually create memes on a platform. We have got photography, we've got music, NFTs, videos, 3D, virtual reality, domain names too also. So this our marketplace is quite rich, right? And helps the user navigate through the platform to know, okay, what kind of NFTs they are looking for. Here you'll find our QLIP collectibles. All right. And then here you'd find the top sellers, in the space. And then here is where you find the marketplace. So this is basically a summary of what our platform looks like.
Thanks for that breakdown, Karla. I think the platform looks really appealing as well. It looks nice. You can clearly tell it was built.
You.
Yeah, you can tell it was built by an artist. There's no doubt about that.
Yes, thanks, man. Yeah.
So, Karla, I need to ask this, and maybe even for our listeners, is this platform accessible to all Africans, or if you're an artist, or if you feel you want to build or you want to mint an NFT? Yes.
All Africans.
All right.
Yes. And a handbook that we're going to release very soon to help Africans go through the NFT process. Right now, beyond just minting, there is the why to NFTs. There is the being able to ask yourself, okay, why am I doing this? Why am I wanting to be a content creator? And the handbook also gives insights into what you can do to become a content creator, like to create art, and how that artists should focus on looking at the NFT industry as a career rather than a get-rich-quick scheme, right? So we don't get carried away with this NFT got sold for $10,000, this one got sold for $1 million, this one got sold for $69 million, right? Because when you look into those people's profile, find out that they've been working, right? You're just hearing about them. It doesn't mean that it just came immediately. They were actually working before now. So this is one of the things that we put in the handbook to help creators understand that, okay, being an NFT artist is a process. First of all, anyone can become an NFT artist. Anybody who's creative can become an NFT artist. But actually doing it right takes a process, all right? And it pays a lot in when you look at it for long term rather than just as a get rich quick thing. So the handbook describes and kind of guides NFT artists, people who are artists who want to get into the NFT industry, and people who want to start their NFT journey.
And also as an African, really, and for other people who are building, because you've definitely built something that has value for the African continent. Maybe you can let us know what are the challenges of, running a platform like this, an NFT marketplace. Are there any challenges? And possibly even what advice can you give to other creators like you as well, especially in the blockchain and crypto space?
I wanted to take us to asset management company. In our experience in providing for blockchain spin industry is quite hectic. It is more challenging than any other industry, and here's why. Everybody's watching you. Everyone is. Your tokens, like you can actually see the amount of tokens that existed, where they were minted. When there are issues, you can get to know immediately. It's like everything is open source. It's decentralized, right? It's open. Everyone can see. Anybody who does their due diligence to research, who is not even in the company, can understand can have an insight to what is going on. So there's this pressure to succeed. All right. Now, this here, what we talked about, this is my company, and we offer consulting services now, CS Consults. The first part I talked about is crypto startups. There's a difference between a crypto company and a blockchain company, right? Blockchain companies, the activity that's being run is on the blockchain, just like the NFT activities that we're doing. Everything is done on the blockchain, right? So if your activities are being run on the blockchain, the finance, the community, everything that has to do with the company should be blockchain centric. All right. Now, what you find happening in this space is people who just have crypto projects, who probably they're just asset management, or they provide a certain activity, that doesn't have anything to do with the blockchain, just rush to create a token out of it. And that's where issues come in, because the token is based on the product. The product is not based on the token. Without, for example, if QLIP doesn't exist, if QLIP marketplace, if the QLIP platform doesn't exist, the QLIP tokens will be useless, right?
Correct.
Now, most of when I look at African projects, they just focus on the tokens. They're not focused on building the products and actually solving the problem with that. And when you go through the white paper for this project and the white paper development, you can see that these guys are actually offering services that are not blockchain centric. But because of you're hearing the craze of blockchain, you just want to immediately add it, put the brand, and then create a token. And then 2 years later, you get funds, you get money, and 2 years later, everything is just washed out, because there was no actual product to back that tokens. So my advice to African creators is, if you're going to have a blockchain company, if you're going to have a blockchain product, develop the product first, because the tokens that you'd be selling are dependent on the success of the product. And let it be that the product is solving a problem in the space. If you're going to do the same thing that every other person is doing, add an added value to it. Okay. So if you're bringing a solution that's innovative, that solves a problem that's cutting edge, that people are not yet looking at, that the space is not yet looking at, develop the product before you start looking at, marketing the token and actively marketing the token, and you're not building the product. And when the token is out and, investors have bought, people are wanting to make their money back, and you get into undue pressure to make the token work, and you forget the why, which was actually the product. And this is something that I see in the space, reoccurring. When people ask for consultancy service, I see it happen again and again. So the biggest really advice is focus on the product and develop it. Once the product is successful, tokens will follow. That's my advice.
I mean, thanks for those insights, Karla. So for someone who's building, a platform like QLIP, or who already has a product, you can actually advise crypto projects, right?
Yes, I do.
Great. I mean, the reason I brought this up is because you recently were among the top winners for the Decentralized Africa Binance Hackathon. Project obviously came among the top. Maybe you can also tell us a bit about that experience, and why QLIP actually stood out.
And I think the reason is because we already had a working team, we had a working product already. We had, yes, those were the things we had. We had not yet listed our tokens. Our tokens were not out yet. We're even still in the middle of private sale. But while private sale was going on, we were building the platform. Okay, that's the important thing. Now, according to what I said before, that don't look at the tokens first. Look at the product first. So we focused on the product first. We're not looking at just the private sale is on. Okay, so that's one of the things that actually made us stand out, because when I looked through the presentation, we already had a product design, right, and we had a team. But something I said that businesses are built with basically three information resource. Okay, not in a chronological order, but the resources are pure resource. We've got human resource and financial resource. Every company, whether it's blockchain based or not blockchain based, is built with these resources, right? Every organization needs these resources to function. Why is crypto smart now not coming out? Probably my network is not doing so cool. Okay, so all of these resources are included in human resource. So when you're starting the project, the first thing you should do, develop a team. That thing would follow, because what you need actually are people. You don't need if you have the money and you don't have the people, it will just be like any other project.
So
it
you
will
need
just come, and then you find out that you're spending so much.
So
you need people first.
You need a community, right?
Yes, not just the community. You need the team. Okay, so this is where I talked about this in business development, right? Okay, here. So I said the resources needed for organizations are human, finance, material, and information. Now, when you find out finance, material, and information are all included in humans, right? Even if you're telling me that, okay, a lot of your processes are going to be automated, there are people who will be in charge of the automation of those processes. Okay, you will need people to work there. You need people to do research, to carry out information. You need people who would invest. So the first things that founders should do, entrepreneurs should do, is develop a team and develop a community. Focus on the human aspect. Give this value to people first. Once you do that, by the time you're not looking to get finance, money will come from these same humans, right? The material resources, which is probably the blockchain developers, the social media marketers, also make up humans, right? So if you're building a team, if you're building a project, focus on this aspect first, the human aspect. That is very, very important. And what I find out mostly is people just rush to do the token aspects. They just want to create the tokens and put it out there and use it to raise money, and try to shoot yourself in the foot, because in the long run, if the product is not developed and the people are not there, the project would fail. So that's it basically.
Thank you for those words of wisdom, especially from someone who's already built and someone who's already had a project, stand out from a long list. So thank you, Karla, so much. Thank you for speaking to us. Definitely, QLIP is one project.
It's QLIP, David.
Yes, QLIP. I don't know that name. QLIP, yes.
Don't worry, we're gonna do a video on this. We're going to do a video on this and help people pronounce it properly.
Yeah, I think you need to do a video or a song or something,
Okay, we will. Oh, definitely. I'm an artist. Definitely, we're gonna do that. Definitely, we'll do that.
Yeah, thank you, Karla, for talking to us, and we look forward to seeing the developments at QLIP.